Hey everybody, this is My Collectibles coming back with another video, and I want to talk about how collecting digital is the future. And it's not even the future, it's here now and getting stronger every single day. And I'm going to show you the platforms that I think are the best for this. And we're going to talk about, how the world is changing and how collectors are starting to come over to the digital space. And if you're not one of these people who hasn't come over to the digital collecting side of things, now is a great time because it's so early and there's so many big companies getting involved. So if you do like this video, make sure you hit like, make sure you comment down below and let me know, are you into digital collecting or not? What platforms are your favorite? And if you're not, why? Why are you not into digital collecting yet? Because the whole world is going this direction for sure with the technology we have, and it's creating a new kind of collector that we've never seen before. I come from the physical collecting background, and now I'm into digital collecting as well. And it's been absolutely super fun, really amazing. And it's a new, I'm going into new areas I never thought I'd go into before. And it's been really great for sure. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can as well. I'll follow you back and we can continue the conversation there. Show me some of your collection digitally and, physically. That would be great for sure. And if you want to join the channel, you can get into my actual comic book rewards. By just joining the channel, you become a member of this channel and you get into those rewards for physical comics in the real world. And you get a digital NFT, for free at joining. So it's really quite a fun program for sure. So let's get into this, you guys, right here. The collecting is the future. Now, what is already digital? Everything is actually moving this way already. I mean, these are just a few examples. Money's pretty much digital already. I mean, all you do is just tap your phone when you go and you buy stuff. I mean, there's still cash, of course, or credit cards even, but, most of it is going digital. This has been, for a long time now. We're so used to this, music, movies, TV, all of that is all gone digital. No more putting discs in or putting tapes in or CDs in. Although there is a really great, vinyl record collecting sort of, crowd that's amazing as well. So there is still always a place for physical stuff for sure. But digital stuff is already here for sure. Communication, the way we communicate, it's all digital now. No more picking up phones and stuff like that or sending mail, like letters in the mail as much. It's all digital for sure. Social interactions are all digital. I mean, this is the way the world is going with the technology that we have. It's only going to keep progressing further, and so there has been a barrier, for collectibles. So like collectibles are going digital now as well, and there has been a bit of a barrier in the collectible industry, the collectible world with people who are used to collecting comic books or vintage toys or coins or stamps or art. All of that stuff actually is going digital as well. And it already has happened. The crowd that is here actually in this area, in this space, is growing every single day, getting bigger and bigger and bigger as people start to come into this kind of area right here. And there are multiple different platforms and big brands that are actually starting to offer these as options. And it's changing the whole world of collecting for sure. I mean, physical collectibles will never go away, obviously, but it's a whole new kind of collector that we're getting in the digital realm. A couple of things that you might want to see is Vivi's got comic books, Marvel comic books. Here's Amazing Fantasy. This is a digital comic NFT. This one right here dropped in August of 2022. It's worth a lot of money digitally. You can read it, you can sell it. You can't trade it yet on this particular platform, but you can do all these other things with it. Look at it in augmented reality on your phone. You can share it online, and it's licensed through Marvel. So Marvel, the company themselves, is producing their comic books for you to buy, vintage ones, historic ones, on the Vivi platform. And the Vivi platform is a platform that provides this, has that IP, and all these comics drop weekly and you can own them and sell them and everything. It's great, right? It's absolutely amazing. And there's different variations of them, just like in the real world. So this is another thing. Vivi also does physical collectibles, that you can actually now 3D is what I mean to say, like 3D characters, like Spider-Man and everything. They have Disney, they have Star Wars, they have all sorts of crazy other characters as well. And you can look at them in three-dimensionally on your phone. Look at them in augmented reality, so you can project them in a space. They're animated. A lot of them are for sure. You can play with them. They're just basically toys digital toys, and you have full ownership of them for sure. And that's on the VV platform. There's other companies who are going this direction as well. It's quite crazy, but these are the biggest companies in the world. Like Marvel is putting these through the VV app. It's actually quite crazy. So if you're an action figure collector, you can collect Star Wars action figures digitally that actually move and like are animated, and you can sell them. They go for a decent amount of money. It's crazy, right? It's just growing and growing and growing. And eventually you'll be able to put these into kind of a metaverse environment, watch them play around, or even in gamification, right? Which is gaming is another thing that's going full digital as well, right? So what else is becoming digital? Art is going digital as well, for sure. We have platforms and artists and stuff that are producing their work digitally, and I'll show you a company that does it, towards the end of the video right here, that does like the Mona Lisa and that kind of stuff like that. It's crazy, right? And a lot of, smaller artists are putting their work out digitally. You have digital frames so you can look at your stuff in now. Vivi has art as well, which is nuts. Vivi kind of has everything. So I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but art is another thing that's going digital as well. Clothing. Now, this is kind of funny. You think, how could clothing possibly go digital? But Nike has developed programs where they're actually putting out digital collectible like clothing items to be used in metaverse or in gaming. And then you can actually redeem them as well for physical clothing items like shoes. And the biggest example is like these Air Force Ones. This big project started out in April. If this is on a platform called the OpenSea, and Nike is like jumping right into this. Adidas has done this as well, and other fashion brands have done this, where you have like avatars digitally that you can be able to use this stuff on and dress them up, as your digital character representation of yourself, even gaming or not. And then you can actually get physicals to wear around by owning these. It's like your ticket. It's absolutely amazing what's going on. So the sneakerheads out there should be paying attention to these shoes that are like three-dimensionally, highly animated, super beautiful. This is just another big thing right here. These were released in April of 2023, the month that I'm doing this video. So there's a lot of benefits to digital collectibles, over physical ones. There's utility that you get, like I mentioned, with like the Nike stuff and other stuff where you own one of these physical things, and it unlocks things in the physical world or other access to other areas. It's not fully needed though, because collectors, they will just collect like the comic books, for example, on Vivi. You don't need any additional, utility for those. Just the historical reference, the readability of them, to be able to read them and be able to sell them and buy them. That's kind of the thing that's already built in. But other stuff will unlock. If you own certain collectibles on platforms, it'll unlock gateways to other areas and events and all sorts of stuff. That's crazy. That's part of digital collecting that is really, really new and different compared to physical stuff mostly. Digital collectibles, they're just convenient. You can easily sell and trade them and buy them just like that on your phone. You can look at them wherever you take them, wherever you go. It's very convenient. They're carbon neutral. There's no packaging involved. No environmental impacts, the same way as you would get like physical collectibles, and all the stuff that goes into that, shipping and, packaging and products and plastics and everything. None of that really applies to digital collecting. So it's really the wave of the future. There's AR and metaverse, like what I mean by metaverse is like digital worlds that people are going to be hanging out in and doing stuff in and communicating in. People doing Zoom calls and stuff like that through this whole pandemic that we've had before is open up another whole new world of how people communicate, and their avatars and what they look like and what they do and how they play games, and all that stuff is changing right before our eyes, right? You can, like I said, digital collectibles, you can buy, sell, and trade them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to wait for the post office to open or wait for that store to open, to go down there. You can just collect them and buy them right away. And it's really just embracing the technology that is actually in front of our faces right now. That's what digital collecting is all about. It's like using the technology we have to enjoy the fandoms that you so much enjoy and collect the characters and the stuff that you love to collect. And it's just an extension of it from the physical world. It's quite amazing, right? So some of the best platforms that I do videos on here on the channel, and some of the ones that, I follow the most, are Vivi, because Vivi does all the Marvel comics, Star Wars, Disney. They have artists. They have all sorts of crazy stuff from movies and everything. physical, like, three-dimensional, animated, all that kind of stuff, fully readable, licensed, everything. So Vivi is the #1 digital collectible platform that we have right now. And So Rare is another one that I'm doing videos on. They do NBA, cards, and you can play NBA fantasy with the real NBA players. It's crazy. Elmon X does art. So they got like recently the Mona Lisa they released and new artists, and the Starry Night by Van Gogh, all licensed through like the actual museums and stuff that have these images. It's crazy. DC has a platform that's doing great with bat cowls that you can put on your head and everything like that. And DC comic books, that's crazy as well. HRO, that H down there, that's another card collecting kind of company that like it's through DC. So Superman, Batman, all of them. It's all like part of these big brands. And you can collect their cards and everything and buy, sell, trade. And they have drops and pack openings. And there's so many more that you should be looking at right now. Like I said, Nike is doing it. They're getting into the clothing and apparel, all the fashion brands. It is just exploding in front of our face, everybody. And right now, the great news is that a lot of the prices on some of this stuff isn't as high as it will be in the future. It's quite something. So maybe it's a chance to start looking at digital collectibles if you haven't already. And if you're already here, this should just reaffirm how you feel about the space that we're in. It's quite amazing right here. It's creating new collectors, new kinds of collectors we've never seen before. And it's a really exciting time. So let me know what you think in the comments section. If you're on any of these platforms, let me know for sure. I will see you in the next video. I'll be making videos about all this stuff as time goes on, every single day, pretty much putting out new stuff. So if you want to subscribe, that would be great because I'd love to hear about you and your collecting journey as well. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting.